Hello there, friends and RC family, and welcome out to beautiful Desert Mountain, Utah for the 2023 North vs. South Utah RC Crawling Championships, where the best drivers in Class 2, Class 3, and Unlimited Class are assembled to lay it all on the line and see who comes out on top to clinch the title of the best driver in the state of Utah for the 2023 season. Showing off some of the High Noon Hobby merch, our Scumbag RC and Deez Company. Very much appreciate you guys rocking the merch on this very exciting day. I am still working on sorting and organizing footage from this event. There is a ton of it, but I do have the top 5 for both Class 2 and Class 3 recorded, and I can't wait to share it with you. But until I am able to find the time to edit all of that together, I wanted to share some of these qualification courses with you. So today we are going to be taking a look at course 1 for Class 2. Now, when I say qualification, I don't mean like qualifying for the actual finals. That is over. We have, over the last few months, if you're new to the channel, you probably don't know, but if you're not, you totally do know because it's all we've been covering. For the last couple months, we've been covering the qualification rounds for the North vs. South Utah RC Crawling Championship Finals. Now, these qualification rounds here are no longer to qualify for the event, but to qualify for the top 5 shootout. The top 5 drivers at the end of the day in each class will qualify for the top 5 shootout and participate in a competition, just the 5 of them on a completely separate course to see who comes out on top. Their scores will be combined, meaning their first, second, and then the top 5 shootout course will all be combined together to give them their final scores and see how it all settles out. This course here is a toughie. This is, well, it's set like a finals course. And if you've been paying any mind to the courses throughout the season, you know that this has not been an easy season when it comes to course setting. These courses have been brutal throughout the entire season. Absolutely disgusting, some might say, and this is no exception. In fact, if anything, they are just ramping it up for these qualified contenders that are going to be taking a stab at the championship title. So, we're going to start out with 2 drivers that are well known here on the channel, well known in the community for their driving skills, and see how they fare through this very challenging course. Definitely some difficult obstacles to get through, so let's waste no time and get right into it. I do want to remind you folks, though, that this is the last day for you to get entered into the High Noon Hobby 3K subscriber giveaway. Link down in the description. Make sure that you get entered in that for your chance to win a free High Noon Hobby sling pack, accessory pack, patch kit, and some other goodies. So definitely make sure to get yourself entered. You do not need to add yourself to the newsletter, but that is an option. The email collection for this is just so that we can let you know that you won. But if you want to find out in person or live that you did win, definitely don't forget to join us for the High Noon Hobby High Noon at High Noon live stream on Sunday with Sons of Crawl, where we will be announcing the winner and talking about the finals and how we thought that they went. But let's jump into this run. I was just a minute, well, not a minute. I was just literally a second late on both of these runs, a second or 2 late on both of these runs, but I have compensated for that in the time on your screen now. This course is a toughie, but let's see how Cameron handles it. This is Cameron, or Ginga Ninja RC, for those of you who aren't familiar, but anyone who has spent any time with us here on the channel knows that this is one of the most competent drivers in the state. He clenched many of the titles last season. Now let's see how he does this time around. Hitting gate 1, no issue whatsoever. The bonus right after gate 1, also no issue, setting himself up well right out of the get-go with a -10 score. Coming in to gate 2 here, a nasty side hill. He gets a little bit confused with the direction, but it actually plays to his benefit as he ends up coming into the side hill from the top, setting himself up a little bit better as to not max out that side hilling capability on this very capable rig. This gate number 3 here is all about breakover angle. It's about breakover angle, and also your escape route is not very easy to see. There's really no good way out, in fact, and you just have to be as controlled as possible in your descent. Cameron always doing an excellent job of demonstrating those skills. Now let's see how he does on the ascent. Coming into gate number 4, this one here is all about the hook and grab. Can your truck ascend some very, very steep grades? Let's find out if Cameron's can. You can see he's coming into this struggling a little bit right out of the get-go, and that's never a good sign. We've got some serious bouncing going on. Cameron is known to run quite a bit of weight in his trucks. He does like to run brass weight rings in the actual wheels themselves or in the tires themselves, and unfortunately having to take an upright just because he can't quite manage those bumps. He just keeps bouncing up and down and not quite getting just so close to that gate number 4, but not able to pass through it. I don't have any good advice for him here. I don't know if he could be coming in further to the right, further to the left. It seems like all of it is quite the ascent, and sitting there and trying it over and over again has just made it more and more dusty, unfortunately. And finally, Cameron gives it just a little bit too much gas and ends up tapping gate number 4. Headed into gate number 5 here. This is a very, very tough one, and you really have to scout your line and set up for that line right out of the get-go. Otherwise, you're going to have major issues. That hole on the driver's side can easily suck you in. Cameron does avoid that quite well, keeps himself perfectly squared up to the ascent, and gets himself up and over without too much drama whatsoever. Unfortunately, after tapping that gate and taking the upright, we are at a +5, but let's see if Cameron's able to make up some of those points here with this second bonus line. This one is a bit of a gas it and go. He's able to make it up and over that breakover angle without any issue, and takes both the bonus and gate number 7 clean. Headed into actually, I'm sorry, that was 6. Now we're headed into gate number 7. Now this is one that also got several competitors and caught them out. It doesn't look too difficult. Looks like you should just be able to grab that ledge like Cameron just did with your passenger front and then pull up and over, but it is a nasty breakover, and there are definitely some holes that want to grab your rear axle and pull them in before you're able to get that hook. Unfortunately, Cameron not able to quite spot the line right now. He has to take a couple of reverses to get himself up and through. I think that gate number 4 and all the issues he had with that ascent definitely got him in his own head, and now he is struggling. He's really trying to keep his composure. He knows that this is a crucial moment in his qualification for that top 5 shootout, and so he's really trying his very best to put it all out on the line and get every ounce of performance out of his truck. Unfortunately, tapping that gate now, tapping gate 8, putting him at a +7. I think this is actually the highest score that we've seen from Cameron on course this season. Quite unfortunate, and now just getting all sorts of bunched up in this little trap here right before gate number 9. That is a nasty, nasty spot, and then you have to really watch this inside cone as you come around and try to stay as high up on this side hill wall as you possibly can, coming into gate number 10 so that you don't lose too much ground. Come in from up top and then just slowly crawl your way through, ready on the gas, coming through with a +9 at a 5:46.31, a very respectable score for such a difficult course. Great job, Cameron, on the controller today. You did awesome, and we'll see how that stacks you up against the competition later down the road. But until then, we're going to jump straight into this run here from Dustin from Deez Companee. If you are unfamiliar with Dustin and Deez Companee, Dustin makes some awesome straps, some not exactly limiting straps for your suspension, but they are limiting straps that still allow for full articulation. So if you are running external spring, external coil suspension, or external coil shocks, I highly recommend picking up some Deez bands. I'll throw a link to the description down below where you can check out Dustin's website and maybe get your hands on some Deez bands. I know many of the competitors in this top 20 were running Deez bands, and it seemed to work to their favor. Unfortunately, not to Dustin's favor here, taking a rollover right out of that bonus. Fortunately for him, he did make it through the bonus clean, meaning that he is still at a -5 even after having to take that upright. But that is quite an unfortunate start to this course, as Dustin knows that he needs to keep himself as composed as possible and get the best score that he can possibly lay down to compete with such an excellent crowd of drivers today. Headed into gate number 2, Dustin is a bit less confused than Cameron was headed into this gate. However, now he's taking a left, and you can see he flips back. He just barely noticed that gate 3 is actually on the other side of the rock that he's headed through. He's taking another gander at it so you can see if he can find a good line through to gate number 3. He ends up sitting here for a moment, assessing whether or not he should take the passenger or driver's line around this little boulder. Decides to take the driver's line through. It works out for him here, although it was a little sketchy coming through there. Now we're going to head down and into gate number 3. This one didn't seem to be any trouble for Cameron. Is it going to be any trouble for Dustin? Like I said, it's all about breakover angle, and it's all about controlling your throttle and your steering at the exit, or for the exit of this gate, as to not end up on your lid. Dustin working it and trying his very best to control it. Unfortunately, he ended up keeping his front wheels straight there, and by doing so, he rammed his front end into that rock on the far side and caused a rollover with just a little bit of throttle that he had applied. So he has to take another upright, reducing his score now to a 0 after taking that first bonus, but having 2 uprights. Now let's see, is Dustin's truck able to make it up gate number 4, this nasty ascent, without any trouble? We saw Cameron really struggle with this one. Cameron had no issue with that gate number 3, didn't end up taking a rollover. So will Dustin be able to make up a little bit here on gate number 4? And yes, he will. A little bit of bouncing still. You could see that front end getting light, but not a problem at the end of the day. He's able to make it up there without much trouble whatsoever. Cameron really had to work that one for quite some time. Dustin wasted some time in between gate 2 and gate 3. Luckily, he's able to make that up there on gate number 4. Headed into gate number 5, you can see Dustin just barely skirting that hole on the driver's side of his rear axle there. A very good line though, and a beautiful save on that descent out of gate number 5. Now let's head into gate number 6 / the bonus and see how he does here. This one, obviously takes some skill to line yourself up, but there is a bit of luck involved as well. Once you put your truck up on its slider, you're really hoping that things go well, because you only have so much control over what your truck does when it's on a pivot point that isn't one of your tires. You can see that's exactly what happens here to Dustin. He gets himself dead square in the middle of that slider, and then he has to work it with the steering and throttle to get through. Luckily, he's able to get through clean and gets through both the bonus and through gate 6 without any issue there, bumping his score back up to a -10 or back down to a -10 after taking those 2 uprights. Now let's see here how Dustin fares on this very difficult gate number 7. You can see that tire slide popping him over a little bit. The front end pops over just a little bit to the driver's side there, and that actually worked really, really well for him. Dustin took a great approach to that and had a little bit of luck come through, and he was able to get through that gate number 7 without any issue. Now gate number 8 is really all about setting up for gate number 9. There's not a whole lot of difficulty getting through gate number 8, but it's all about this area right here, which we saw Cameron struggle with significantly. Dustin taking the outside line, and it seems to be a good decision. Floats his way over that big hole. It's a nasty one, but he's able to do it without too much trouble. Back up on the slider, giving it just a little bit of throttle, and he's able to work his way out and through, and he's just about to pass through gate number 9, but he wants to get that better angle to make sure that he's not going to tap this inside cone. A great idea on his part. Excellent driving here, coming through with a -10 at the end as long as he makes it through gate 10, which, spoiler alert, he does just after 5:30. An excellent showcase both from Dustin and from Cameron. Great driving on both their parts. Unfortunately for Cameron, Dustin coming through on this course number 1 ahead, but that is not the end of it here. We'll see how it goes going forward. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is all I have for you today. I hope that you enjoyed. If you did, go ahead and give this video a like. That lets me know that I am doing something right. And if you really enjoy this content, go ahead and subscribe to High Noon Hobby for more content just like this every single week and without fail. But I hope that you enjoyed this. I hope that it was at least entertaining for you, if not educational. I know that I always learn something watching drivers of this caliber go at it, but I know that I was particularly entertained by these runs. These drivers really are laying it all out on the line, trying to clench that championship title for Class 2. Both Cameron and Dustin are excellent drivers, and I appreciate both of them for letting me record their runs and share them with you guys so that we can all learn from their awesome driving skills. There will be tons more coverage coming of the North vs. South Championship. We just are getting started. I've got the top 5s recorded for all of the classes, so we will be definitely diving into some deeper, longer videos covering those top 5s. But I am headed off to the White Rim Trail this upcoming week, so I don't have time to edit all that together right now. So I'm trying to give you guys a little taste of what the finals was like without going full hog on all of the editing yet. But that will be coming soon. And the last thing that I want to let you guys know is this is the very last day to get entered in the High Noon Hobby 3K giveaway. If you are unaware of what's going on, we're having a giveaway for hitting 3,000 subscribers on the High Noon Hobby YouTube channel, and I do really appreciate every single one of you guys for supporting the channel. It really does mean a ton. So I want to be able to give back to you guys, and I am doing so the best that I can through these giveaways every time we hit the next milestone for subscribers. So for the 3K giveaway, we are giving away a High Noon Hobby RC Sling Pack with all the accessories and all that sort of goodness. It's going to be a really cool giveaway, so definitely don't miss out on it. Link is down in the description for getting into it, and like I said, tonight is the very last night, and we will be announcing the winner on Sunday for a live stream, High Noon Hobby, High Noon at High Noon Sunday live stream with Sons of Crawl. So definitely be there or be square, although you don't need to be present to win. That's why we're asking for your email address. It's not for any sort of advertisement or anything like that, but just so that we can let you know that you won. All right, guys, we'll see you in the next one. Until then, enjoy some hard lines, maybe some scale trails, and we'll see you soon. Cheers.